segue, right? That's a spoken thing? Yeah, just look at me how you do.
593.
I think,
It's gonna be
it's, I
for
think the goose because that's what Casey's singing. She doesn't know the keys. She's just
okay, so I won't play it.
we never play. And the rest, we'll see.
Do you want me to turn them?
Just glare if I do anything dumb. Just glare if I do anything dumb.
Likewise.
Baby. So they're not gonna. There it is. This is Let's Land on the Wall. I think I want to help this. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. Our service begins with Hine Ma Tov. I know most of you know the words to it. The words in Hebrew can be found on page 644 using the page numbers in the brackets. The words for the English are, you'll pick them up as we go along. 644, second song down using the page numbers in the brackets.
Yalla
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Reformed Temple of Forest Hills. I'm Rabbi Mark Kaiserman, along with Cantor Emily Wygod-Pincus. We're delighted to celebrate Shabbat together here in our sanctuary and on our live stream from home. Today we're in the middle of Sukkot, a week-long festival for Chol HaMoed Sukkot, the Shabbat that falls in the middle of the week-long of Sukkot. And so we have our beautiful decorations to remind us of the natural world around us and the blessings that it brings. After services, we'll have an opportunity for anybody who wishes to join us in the sukkah to shake the lulav and the etrog. And I appreciate especially tonight is a big night on sports in New York, and we're glad you're all here putting God ahead of your team, which is a good way, if things go well, you can take credit for it. And for the people who aren't here, if things go badly, it's all their fault for not coming tonight. So we're glad you're all here tonight. As we use our prayer book this evening, note that all the page numbers we call out are the page numbers in the brackets. There's two sets of page numbers. It's the second set of page numbers, the ones in the brackets. This way, all the different versions of the prayer book that we're using in our sanctuary all match up with the same page. This Shabbat is not just Shabbat and Sukkot, it's also Billy Kabinarji's bar mitzvah. And so as we celebrate Billy's service tomorrow morning, we invite Billy and his family up to light the candles this evening. So we invite to the bima Rebecca, Luigi, CJ, and Billy Kabinarji. Page 120. We continue with the Kiddush as we sanctify and bless this holy day of Shabbat. Page 123. Please rise in body and in spirit. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, inhilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah, l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziyat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inhatanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim.
L'chaim. And Shabbat, it's time to come together and be as one community. And so you should make sure you know who the community is around you. Wish Shabbat Shalom and find out who is sitting around you all around this sanctuary. Please be seated. Sukkot is a holiday of joy, and what greater joy can we have than welcoming a new life into the world and a new member of the Jewish family. And so it is my pleasure and privilege to invite up to the Bima Cairo Matthew Severino, along with his parents, Christina and Anthony.
Hi, everyone.
Wait,
Oh.
we'll do some
I'm
stuff
sorry.
first.
I thought we didn't practice.
So, Cairo, we welcome you and celebrate you. You're surrounded by your loving parents holding you so tight, and a wonderful big group of your family that's here that's so excited that you are part of their life and that you are going to grow into a source of love and kindness and energy and make this world a little bit better because you are in it. This world will be a better place because of you. And so as we celebrate you, we celebrate your name in English and in Hebrew, and so we offer this blessing. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, kayemet hayeled hazeh, la'aviv le'imo, va'yikra shmo b'Yisrael, Matityahu ben Sarah. Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, sustain this child through his parents' loving care. Let him be known among our people Israel by the name Matityahu ben Sarah, Matthew, son of Sarah, and in English, Cairo Matthew Severino. May your name inspire and be a source of joy to you and inspire you to serve our people and all humankind. May your parents rejoice in your growth in body and soul. As they have brought you into this community to celebrate, may you find wisdom and patience and a life filled with Torah, the blessing of learning, chuppah, the blessing of finding relationships, and ma'asim tovim, the blessing of doing good deeds. And let us say, Amen. To share a little bit about Cairo's names, his mom's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Hello. Oh, in here, sorry. So, as happy as we are to introduce you to our son, this is most exciting for me considering the last time I stood on the stage 20 years ago was for my own bat mitzvah. So with this full circle feeling, I can't help but to feel overjoyed to think that one day our son, Cairo Matthew, will also have his bar mitzvah here too. With that, we'd like to introduce you to Cairo Matthew, born on August 16th, and named after my father, Matthew Goldenberg, sitting in the middle right there. My father happens to be born in Cairo, Egypt, and Cairo meaning strong and the victorious, I figured coupled with Matthew, Matityahu, could only mean great things for my son's future. I hope that my son acquires attributes of my father, such as being a hard worker with a good work ethic, that no matter the weather, the age, or the circumstance, every day is going to be a productive day. In addition, although my dad seems hard on the exterior, I hope that Cairo also inherits a sense of warmth and family, because knowing at the end of the day that we'll always have each other. Thank you all for welcoming us, and congratulations to my son for being our newest Jewish member. Thank you.
And let us celebrate this moment with our blessing of special moments and special times, the Shehekianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'hikyanu lazman hazeh.
Blessed are you, God, for helping us through life's joyous moments to come together today in celebration and in love. To recognize this special moment, we have from our Women's Connection a bib to help you eating all that oneg that you're one day going to chow down on, maybe not so much tonight. And this baby naming certificate, good catch, to celebrate Cairo's naming and celebration being part of his extended community and family.
Thank you so much.
And Cantor and I have the privilege of offering this blessing. It's a blessing that your mom heard at her bat mitzvah right here on this bima, and we have the chance to share it with you and celebrate your journey into this world.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and take care of you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה.
May the light that you bring into this world always shine, and may you find comfort.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישים לך שלום.
As each person looks at you, they smile and feel better about themselves and the world. May you always bring that blessing of making this world a better place and leading us to the most important blessing, the blessing of wholeness, the blessing of peace, the blessing of shalom. Amen.
Amen. And we say, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov.
Mazel tov. We welcome in our Shabbat as we welcome in a special friend. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, pages 138 and 139 in the brackets. We'll be sharing in verses 1 and 2 and then rising for verse 9.
Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור ישמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד,
continue with our call to worship on page 146. Standing as we turn back in our prayer book to page 145, one page earlier. We read together in the middle of the page. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Ahavat Olam, page 151. 150.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו משכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה.
We invite back to the bima our bar mitzvah, Billy, as we turn to page 154 for the V'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta b'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'lechecha v'aderech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'kshavtam amzuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue together on page 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? תפדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We create a sukkah to spread a shelter of peace over us physically. We recognize the shelter of peace that God spreads over us in the celestial heavens. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha, page 160, starts on the third line of the Hebrew.
It also ends there. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, shelomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, shelomecha. Yalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai, yalai lalai lalai. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, shelomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, shelomecha.
As we continue with the Tefillah, a note that now that Sukkot has come, in the third prayer we'll do, the Givurot, we switch from our summer reading to our winter reading that officially happens on the second day of Sukkot. So instead of asking for Morid Hatal, the coming up of the dew, we now speak for Mashiv Haruach uMorid Hagashem, that the winds may blow and the rain may fall, hearkening back to the agricultural origins of Judaism. We continue with the Tefillah, beginning on page 164 and using the even-numbered pages only. Please rise in body and in spirit.
Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi agid, tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Kolei HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך וחוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה, אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם, אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Together, you are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. On page 174, the middle of the page is a prayer we do on these Chol HaMoed, on these intermediary days of the holiday. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu ya'aleh v'yavo v'yizacher zichronenu v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha l'tova l'cheinu l'chesed l'rachamim l'chaim l'shalom b'yom chag haSukkot hazeh zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova
Amen.
u'fokdenu vo l'vracha
Amen.
v'hoshienu vo l'chaim.
Amen.
Together, our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this day of Sukkot, be mindful of us and all your people Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being. Amen. Visit us with blessing. Amen. Help us to a fuller life. Amen. It seems every week I say at this point in the service, now, maybe now, is a tipping point in the Middle East where things will change. And for months upon months, not much has changed. But maybe now, it's a tipping point to change. Maybe now is a time that healing can come to our brothers and sisters in Israel and to all those people devastated by war throughout the Middle East. Maybe we can find some small measure of movement forward to bring the hostages home and to bring peace throughout the land. And so we offer up our prayer of peace in hope, in anticipation, with all the yearnings of our heart. Shalom Rav, page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We continue with our own private prayers for peace. In Sukkot, we connect back the Israelites of ancient days, words that are taught to us in our Torah about on the holiday of Sukkot, gathering 4 plants together and symbolically shaking them to recognize God is all around us. And so we shake our lulav and our etrog here in the sanctuary, and again, we'll have an opportunity after services for anybody who wants to in the sukkah itself. And we continue with the blessings for the lulav, which can be found on your handouts. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al nitilat lulav. Blessed are you, God, making us holy through mitzvot, including the mitzvah of waving the lulav. And we sing together our special moments and special times of sharing in the lulav.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Blessed are you, God, for helping us through life's journeys to come together to this special moment together. We shake the lulav as we sing words of praise to God with Hallel, page 558 in your prayer books, 558.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu לקרוא את הלב. הודו לאדוני, כי
Turn now to our Torah service, beginning on page 364. We invite Lillian Alexander to join us on the bima. Please rise in body and in spirit.
Ki
You know how in movies, people are always throwing things when they get angry and breaking them? You never seen the scene the next day when they're on Amazon replacing all those things that they broke all over their house, and now they have no dishes to use or vases because they're all smattered all over the floor. Well, in this week's Torah portion, Moses makes up for what he's done, because previously he threw the 10 Commandments in anger and broke them, and now it's the next day and suddenly he doesn't have a 10 Commandments, and since he couldn't order those on Amazon, he needed to make them himself. And so in this week's Torah portion, Moses has to recreate the 10 Commandments that he broke for himself. The Torah portion for this week is a special one done on HaMoed Sukkot. It is from the book of Exodus. We'll be reading from chapter 34, beginning in verse 1. If you want to follow along in the large Torah commentaries under the seats in front of you, it's on page 593. And we invite back up Billy Cabinargi to share a preview of his Torah portion from tomorrow. And to offer the Aliyah over the Torah, we invite up Jody Ann Herman.
Barakata Adonai.
Baruch,
Bakulai Hong Barak. Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Bo'ed. Barakata Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'kabana hon kol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai. Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe B'solecha Shnei lucho avanim Karishonim V'chatavti al haluho et hadvarim Asher hayu al haluho harishonim Asher shibarta V'hiye nachon laboker Ve'alita v'boker el har Sinai V'nitzavta li sham al rosh hahar V'ish lo ya'aleh imach V'gam ish al ira V'chol hahar Gam haton v'habakar Al yiru el mul hahar hahu
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'kabano Torah emet, b'chayei olam nata b'doheinu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten HaTorah. Amen.
With the Torah out in front of us, we offer some special prayers of healing and hope. They can be found on the other side of your handouts. We begin by continuing offering our fervent prayers for the return of the hostages taken by Hamas into Gaza, for all of them to be returned home, those alive and those who have perished, to return back to their families and their people. We read together. May God bless the hostages and all those missing and unaccounted for, citizens, soldiers, men, women, and children who are imprisoned and in grave danger. May it be your will, God of all, that they be released speedily and return to their families and to their homes, safe and sound in body and spirit. Plant the power of hope in the hearts of their loved ones, frantic and yearning for their release. Bring wisdom to their hearts of those laboring for their release, and compassion to the hearts of their captors. May God grant mercy upon them and save them from trouble to well-being, from darkness to light, from enslavement to redemption. May it be swift and soon, and let us say, Amen. Closer to home are our family and friends struggling with pain, with loss, with isolation. We think of those members of our temple family need our strength. Debbie Ball, Larry Bloom, Stanley Friedman, Jack Freeman, Arnold Gilbert, Barbara Gilbert, Arlene Green, Jody Ann Herman, Judy Kaiserman, Laura Kowalski, Brenda Levinson, Don Levy, Joan Lipton, Roberta Traeger, Rochelle Weinberg, Elaine Wall, Scott Scheidlauer, Batia Bat Esther, Renee Weisbaum, Lorraine Silverman, Joel Pikus, Randy Retkin, David Haney, Ken Cohn, Nathaniel Rubin, Evelyn Grossberg, Michael Canner, Greg Hoffer, Carol Hoffer, Gail Kamen. We add to those names in each of our hearts. If you're thinking of someone in particular for a blessing, for healing and hope, we ask you to share their name out loud here in the congregation or add it to the chat on the live stream. for all those we hold in our hearts. We join in a Mishaberach for healing. The words are on your handout.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu, source of strength, give us courage to make our lives a blessing. Refuah Shlema, and let us say Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel, comfort, healing, body, spirit, refuah shlema, and let us say
Amen. As we lift and dress the Torah, please rise.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
As Linda Freitag joins us on the bima, we return the Torah to the Ark with the words on page 374.
Eitz chayni lamachzikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar deracheha torchelom v'chol netivoteha shalom shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'noshuva kadesh yameinu kekedem.
It's Temple's 30th anniversary this year, so it's important to look back on where we've been and what we've done. So if there's one thing I've heard in the 12 years I've been here that was a classic during the time of Rabbi Perlmutter, it's this story, which I'm not going to tell exactly as he did because he had his own way of telling it, but here's a version of it. Shapiro the tailor was as poor could be, was praying in synagogue, and he said, God, I have been your faithful servant all my life. Could I ask you one favor? can you show me the way out of poverty? Cut wide lapels, boomed a voice high up in the ceiling. Shapiro, amazed, rushed back to his tailor shop and cut a line of suits with wide lapels. No sooner had he displayed one in his window than a queue formed that stretched around the block. Shapiro sold out of his line of wide lapel suits in a matter of hours and could scarcely carry the satchel of money to the bank. It was so heavy and full of cash. But he managed, and then he went back to the synagogue. God, thank you for showing me the way out of my poverty. You have made me a rich man, and I'd like to show my gratitude by making you a partner in my tailor shop. I'm thinking of calling it God and Shapiro. What do you think? Call it Lord and Taylor, the high-ceiling voice boomed back. Now, that's a story that only works if you're of a certain age. For many people in this congregation, the punchline of the story makes no sense, and it doesn't end at all. It's like, okay, great story. And that's one of the risks with stories. When you use a cultural reference, eventually that cultural reference goes out of style, and you have to find stories that maybe have new cultural references or have no cultural references at all, and would be a story that would work in 1800 and 1600 and 2024 all equally. But for those not of a certain age, Lord & Taylor was a department store, a high-end clothing department store that back when people, when they wanted to shop for things, drove somewhere, got out of their cars, walked around and looked at things, picked them out, paid for them, usually in cash or with a paper thing called a check that was magic, and took the clothing home with them. They didn't have to have anything stolen off their porches as they were delivered. They didn't have to wait, but they only had what was in stock at the store to do it. Lord & Taylor was a well-known department store, especially in the Northeast, and Rabbi Meir Perlmutter used to love telling a Lord & Taylor story. So now that we've heard Lord & Taylor is the name of the store and is the punchline, let's hear that story again, but a little differently, another version of the same story. 3 Jewish men arrive in New York City from Europe and decide to meet again in 20 years to see how they made out in America. 20 years passed, and they came together. The first man asked the second, "So, how'd you do?" He replied, "Well, you know, when I came to this country, I had no idea what to do with myself to make a living. So I looked at my last name, Goldstein. So I went into the gold business, and boy, did I make a fortune." The second man then said, "Well, like you, I had no idea what I was going to do when I came to this country to make a living. So I looked at my last name, Cantor. So I went into singing in the temple, and oi, did I succeed." They both turned to the last man and said, "You, what happened to you?" The third man said, "Well, I too had no idea how I was going to make a living here in America. So I looked at my last name, Taylor, and I said, that's no good. I'll never make money as a tailor. So I went to the shul and prayed. I said, God, if you make me a wealthy man, I promise to make you my partner." So the first man said, "So what happened?" The man replied, "You never heard of Lord & Taylor?" So in honor of Rabbi Perlmutter and the great legacy he created as the first rabbi of this synagogue and the blessings he brought to this congregation, we remember the Lord & Taylor story, one of his favorites throughout his time as a rabbi. Well, Sukkot is a happy day, and so we want to share good things that are going on in our lives. If you have a simcha, a happy thing that is happening to you or your family right at this time, we invite you to raise your hand, and as I come over to you, share us with your name and what good thing is going on in your life. Nobody has anything good?
This is silly, but it's on the life list. After many times taking the Jeopardy online test, I finally got called to audition.
Audition.
And I just want to point out that my mother worked at Lord & Taylor in Milburn and sold shoes.
I get to have a sleepover with my best friend and all of my other friends this weekend.
I'm Julie, and I got together with a friend I met in the IDF when I volunteered. I haven't seen her in 14 years, and I first met her 32 years ago. She married a rabbi.
Hi, I'm Marcy. My husband Ken and I just celebrated our 20th anniversary on Wednesday.
I have a son named Cairo Matthew, introduced today, 2 months old last Wednesday. And baby Matthew right here, his birthday's not a baby, I'm sorry, Matthew, my nephew, his birthday party is this weekend on Sunday.
It's my brother's bar mitzvah tomorrow.
We look forward to many more simchas and blessings to share in our community and join together as one congregation. We turn to the concluding blessings of our service, beginning with the Aleinu in the middle of page 586. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those people we miss so very much, our family and friends who are part of our life and our love, and who we remember and celebrate the blessings they brought into this world. This week marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Joan Abraham, Irving Adelson, Sam Arkin, Jack Bloom, Joseph Cohen, Toby Farkas, Harry Thielman, Harry Geen, Betty Gimbelman, Beatrice Glasser, Belle Glasser, Anna Goldman, Abraham Goldstein, Barnett Graber, Janice Grad, Joseph Greenspan, Harris Herman, Cyrus C. Hoffman, Nathan Hoffman, Robert Jaffe, Helen Klebanow, Michael Ladowitz, Dr. Joseph David Levin, Pauline Magid Levin, Lillian Levine, Nathan Levitas, Julius Lewin, Zus Linsky, Margaret May Manson, Arlene Meckler, Harry Meyer, Blanche Michaelis, Moses Monat, Philip Osterweil, Daniel Perlstein, Richard Raber, David Reich, Ida Rosen, Samuel Rosenkrantz, Molly Sachs, William Salzberg, Hetty Schaefer, Philip Sexer, Edith Schmuckler, Gerald Silberberg, Hyman Silverman, Trevor Michael Singerman, Charles Smith, Edward A. Stroud, Deborah Sussman, Molly Weissman. We add to these names those who have passed away in recent days: Ken Kaiserman, cousin of Carl Kaiserman, Arthur Hirschon, father of Jeffrey Hirschon, Roan Vaughn, cousin of Roberta Traeger, Serena Castillo, friend of Emily Marino, and names that each of us hold close to our hearts. If there's someone you're particularly thinking of at this time and this day, we invite you to add their name to all of our congregation's memories, here out loud or in the chat on the live stream. For all those we love and miss, our Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, be'amah divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'galav izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam almei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudishah b'rechu, le'ela min kol birkata v'shirata, tushbekata v'nekamata, damiran be'amah v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort every broken heart. And let us say,
Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'yimeru amen.
Amen. Please be seated. With words of welcome to our congregation, we invite the Vice President of our synagogue, Liz Fisher.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. So thank you to Rabbi and Cantor and Nitzan and Bani for leading tonight's lovely service. Thank you also to Andy and Juan for all their help supporting services every week. Thank you to Rebecca and Luigi Cabanargi for sponsoring the Oneg in honor of Billy's bar mitzvah, and to Christina and Anthony in honor of their son Cairo's baby naming. As usual, we have many events coming up. Tomorrow night, Saturday, October 19th, the PA and WOCO are sponsoring wine and cheese in the Sukkah at 7 p.m. Space is limited, but you can still register on the website. Next Wednesday, October 23rd at 7 p.m., we will celebrate Simchat Torah with an evening service and consecration of the new religious school students. We will also have quiet space in the garden room to memorialize those lost last year on October 7th, pray for the release of those still in captivity, and hope for better days. Please join us. Sukkot reminds Jews of the temporary nature of material possessions and the obligation to share what we have with those in need. With that in mind, we are gearing up for our midnight run on October 26th to feed and clothe the unhoused. We are collecting gently used adult-sized hoodies. The bin is right outside the door to the right, and there are many activities planned for the whole family. Please see the website or the e-blast for more information. And finally, as you all know, the election is just over 2 weeks away. If you are anything like me, you cannot wait for November 5th to come and for the incessant political ads to stop. So early voting opens on October 26th, and in the spirit of democracy and tikkun olam, we encourage you to make a plan and get out and vote. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
With a special presentation to Billy, we invite up Billy and our Toffee president, who also happens to be Billy's brother, CJ.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm CJ, the president of Toffee. Nice to meet you. And as a gift from Toffee, we want to give you a bag of toffee because we're the funniest youth group ever. And we hope you join Toffee after your soccer season is over. You are going to join Toffee after your soccer season is over. Thank you.
As we get ready to oneg, we invite you, after you get a little oneg, to head downstairs, if you wish, to the backyard to shake the lulav and the etrog. To help us get ready for our oneg tonight and all the food ahead, we invite up any kids in the congregation who are not quite yet bar or bat or b'nai mitzvah to join us up front.
Come up. No. No. Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
B'te'avon. We are going to conclude on page 663. Page. With V'samachta b'chagecha. And this is a song for Sukkot, and in general, in festivals in general, but specifically for Sukkot, because it says you should be happy in all of your festivals, and they should bring you nothing but joy. And in order to do that, we have to practice. So repeat after me. V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. So let's do it again. V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. So let's try it. V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach.
Just a note, Luigi, Michael, Alan, Jane, Linda, you all have plans on Sunday night now. Let's go Mets. Hag Sameach.
Hag Sameach. Shabbat Shalom.